A second Wyoming man is facing charges related to the January 6th Capitol riot. Climate change anxiety has created a whole new wing of psychotherapy, and an Albany man wins a major national shooting competition. Bringing you these stories and more from Wyoming's largest news organization, I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily. A Bedford man has become the second Wyoming resident to face federal charges for his alleged involvement in the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot. Cowboy State Daily's Leo Wolfson said that 68-year-old Douglas Harrington is accused of assaulting U.S. Capitol Police with a flagpole. That's one of 6 federal charges that, if convicted, could land him in prison for up to 75 years.
Harrington is accused of swinging and hitting Capitol Police with a flagpole. He was connected by a few different sources who identified him, and then authorities were able to confirm those reports by looking at his social media accounts.
Harrington is the second Wyoming resident to receive federal charges in connection with January 6th. The first was former Cody resident Andrew Galloway, who was sentenced to 30 days in jail and a $1,500 fine in connection with his actions. At least 2 people were killed in a head-on collision between a motorcycle and a pickup south of Torrington on Friday. Cowboy State Daily's Andrew Rossi reports that the motorcycle was carrying 2 people when it collided with the pickup on Highway 85 between Yoder and Torrington.
There was a pickup truck driving erratically at really high rates of speed along Highway 85. And as it was attempting to pass another vehicle, it collided head-on with a motorcycle to the point that eyewitnesses say the pickup truck went airborne and the motorcycle completely disintegrated.
There have been 88 fatalities on Wyoming's highways so far in 2023, including the 2 who died at the scene of Friday's crash. Well, so many people are having serious anxiety issues as a result of the belief that climate change is causing a global crisis that a whole wing of therapy is sprouted up to help people deal with their fears. But Cowboy State Daily's energy reporter Kevin Kilo explains that the number of climate-related deaths has fallen about 99% since 1920. That's according to the International Disaster Database. That means that any person living today is far less likely to die in a natural disaster than in any previous generation.
So I talked to some climate-aware therapists about, do they actually talk to their patients and try and give them some kind of context, try and ease their concerns with actual data? And basically, yes, but at the same time, not entirely.
The medical journal The Lancet details a 2021 study of 16 to 25-year-olds, which found that 59% of those served were extremely worried about climate change, and 45% said they had trouble functioning normally as a result of their anxieties about climate change. I'll be back with more news right after this.
At Hilltop Bank, we understand that buying a home is a big decision. That's why we're here to be your trusted partner on the path to home ownership. Our experienced mortgage team will guide you every step of the way, from pre-approval to closing. We offer competitive rates and a wide variety of home loan options to best suit your needs. With our local knowledge and personalized service, you'll feel confident and comfortable throughout the entire home buying process. Contact us today to start your journey toward home ownership. Hilltop Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
A 79-year-old Laramie man slashed his own neck and partially disemboweled himself when police came to arrest him for allegedly molesting an 8-year-old girl. Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland reports that John Silva faces multiple criminal counts in Albany County District Court, including 1 count of first-degree sexual abuse of a minor and 2 of second-degree sexual abuse.
When Laramie police officers went to his home to arrest him, the court documents say that Silva retreated into a bathroom, slashed at his neck with a large knife, and then jabbed his gut, causing partial leakage of his intestines through the stomach lining.
If convicted on all the charges he faces, Silva could be sentenced to roughly a century in prison. And when Kenny Langford was a teenager in the 1960s, he displayed blooming talent as a competition rifle shooter. Now in his 70s, Langford recently proved he still has what it takes. Cowboy State Daily's Mark Hines reports that in July, the Albany man won this year's NRA Match Rifle Championship at Camp Atterbury in Indiana.
It's a very specific type of rifle shooting that takes a lot of discipline and a lot of skill. This is something he's developed over a lifetime.
When asked to describe his winning formula, Langford said there isn't anything particularly obscure about it, just lots of practice and sticking to the fundamentals. And that's today's news. You can read about all of these stories and more on CowboyStateDaily.com, Wyoming's largest and most read news source. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily.